Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is KB5MIQ, Big Boy. Thought we'd see if we could make some contacts here in a minute, get them on film. There's my ham radio cat jumped up here in my lap. Thank you, Indy. Thought we'd talk a little bit about. I see a lot of new hams coming into the hobby, and I'd like to welcome all of you in here. Uh, See a lot of posts on social media about hams fussing about the proposed changes for the bands and new hams not learning CW and saying we're dumbing down the hobby and this and that and all that other good stuff. Uh, I've always looked at it like this. I got licensed back in '90, back when still had 13 word per minute to get general and 20 word per minute to get extra. And I could, in one of my earlier videos, I explained why I never could get past about 7 words a minute due to hearing issues. I could have upgraded back then with a hearing excuse. I knew it wouldn't be well liked. I didn't do it. That was when the big sunspot cycle was still going on with 10 meters, so I was making plenty of contacts on 10 on voice. I really enjoyed it. Um, my suggestion is for new hams, if people start ragging on you, saying you're not the same, you don't have CW or whatever, just don't pay no attention to them. Get in the hobby. I've said before, this hobby has so many avenues of different ways you can enjoy it and things you can do in it. Find what you like to do in it and do it. Uh, I've also said ham radio's been about its own worst enemy in lots of places, especially ham clubs. I know back in. All right, cat. Whoa, that's good, cat. Thank you. uh, Back in the day, or back in about '06, when they dropped the code requirement where you could upgrade without it. Well, I'm not going to call the club's name. I ain't going to mention what state it's in or anything, but I went to a club, told them I was coming for testing. Got there, and a young ham outside was talking to me. He said, "Man, I hate to tell you this. This club does not like no code generals." I said, "Well, they told me they'd test me, so here I am. I sat in a meeting with probably 20 people in the meeting, looking at their call signs on their hats, so I knew there had to be at least 3 VEs there. Nobody acknowledged my presence in the meeting. Just other than looking at me with a little bit of scowlish look. I'm sitting there thinking, this don't feel right. The president run the meeting, got to the point and said, "Anybody here for testing?" I said, "Yeah, I am, General." "Well, we ain't testing today. We don't have enough VEs here." "Okay, thank you." Well, I didn't say nothing out of the way to them. They knew I was coming, and they chose not to test me. It cost them a member. At one time, I was actually going to join a ham club because I liked their station, their club station, and I thought they was trying to do a lot of work in the area. Thought I'd support them, but I didn't. So that's just how it is. I found another club the next month that tested me, and I tested, and I'm an extra class now. I don't work CW. Probably never will. A friend of mine, we've been talking about trying to do some CW practice. He's a good CW operator. I never have. Like I said, I can't hear it, and I may work on it later, may not. But don't let that deter you. Get in the hobby, enjoy the hobby, and find you a part you like. This is why I like working HF-DX contacts, either stateside or foreign countries. That's my favorite thing to do on here. I don't work any digital modes right now. I've got a VHF UHF station. I check in on local repeaters every now and then. I mainly keep it up for weather things and things like that. But don't let any of that deter you from the hobby. Don't pay attention to them. It's the best thing about it. Uh, if they want to work CW, let them work it. If you don't want to work CW, don't do it. Plenty of places in the band you can get without it. Now, as far as the changes made about giving a few more voice privileges to certain classes of license, I don't know whether that's good or not. I'm not going to say anything about it. FCC is making that call. ARRL, I'm sure, had a hand in it. So I don't know. I don't hear a lot of stuff going on right now in other bands. My favorite bands are 10 meters and 17 meters anyway. So that's where I hang out at. Anyway, I'm going to pause in a minute, see if we can find anything on there, and I'll turn it back on if I can get some contacts going and get this cat out of my way. This big boy. Hang on a minute. Well, looks like the band's kind of dead right now today, so I'm going to be in and out here. Like I said before, just enjoy the hobby. Stay away from the naysayers. Uh, Social media's got some good avenues of stuff on there, and you're also going to run into the people on there that's telling you if you don't know CW or not, should be in the hobby and all that stuff. Just find you a part of the hobby you like to do and enjoy it. That's, like I said, that's kind of narrow-minded to them. If you're not interrupting their CW, and I've heard some awful radio procedure over the years from people I know had the CW requirements in, so can't really judge everything on that. The CW would be good to learn. I wish I knew it better. I really do. But I never got past really. I passed 5 words a minute, but that's all I could ever pass. I got up to 7, 8 words a minute at one time, and never could even get that down solid. Say, go after the hobby. There's lots of good equipment out there. Equipment's cheaper than it's ever been in my lifetime on it. Give you an example. The first HF rig I bought used was an ICOM 701, all transistor, CW sideband, all band rig. No, but it wasn't all mode. It was just CW sideband, 10 through 160. 100-watt rig, had the matching power supply and the matching desk mic. Come out new at 78, and 78 it sold for $1,600 in 1978 money. And I give $300 for it used 1990 and used it for 10 years. And I've seen them still bringing 300, and some of them not working bringing 300. I wouldn't pay that for one. Mine, the front end went out in it, got to where it wouldn't receive, and couldn't find anybody to fix it. It was old, so I bought another one. But to give you a comparison, when I bought this 897D here, which is an all mode HF, VHF, and UHF radio, I give like $7.99 for it brand new. Of course, I had to buy a power supply separate, but when I bought the radio, the power supply, a G5 RV antenna, a 6-meter 2-element beam, and a dual band vertical for VHF, UHF, and a couple odd accessories, I didn't have but I think about $1,200 in the whole setup. That's a local repeater ID. And you'll notice when you get on VHF, UHF repeaters, some repeaters have a voice ID, some have a CW ID. Either one's legal to go. CW is all that's required, but some of them with computer controls on will have a voice ID. Anyway, any way I can help anybody with a hobby, look me up on QRZ, KB5MIQ is my call. My email's posted on it. Email me direct. I'll try to help you any way I can. But enjoy the hobby, and everybody have a great day. This is 73 from KB5MIQ, Big Boy.